Greetings and welcome to the month of September. We're already cruising along. Wow, 3/4 of the way through the year. Amazing. Christmas is right around the corner, so start your shopping now. If you haven't been to Costco, they've got the Christmas stuff out already for you. They've had it out about a
Wow.
month. Wow, amazing. Today, Mel put on there, we're doing preferences. We did that last time, so this time we're going to do preferences, but it's going to be in uh, Bridge. So I'll show you a couple of things in Bridge, which could or could not help you speed up things. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to share the whole screen and then we'll make things disappear. Goodbye there. Make that go away. And I'm in
Your water is
Bridge.
falling.
Well, it's because of global warming.
No, you were drunk.
Okay, I was drunk. It was West Coast school. Of course I was. Um, let's just do this folder. It don't matter. There we go. I'm going to show you a couple of things and preferences in Bridge, which can help you a little bit of hope. The same keyboard shortcut works for Bridge that does for that does for Photoshop. Command or Control K will get you into preferences right away. And if you can't remember that, in a Mac, you go up to Adobe Bridge to Preferences, and on a PC, you go File down to Preferences down at the bottom. First things first, when a camera is, I'm in the General tab, which is the top one, and when a camera is connected, launch Adobe Photo Downloader. So what I have here, I'm going to hit Escape right now. I have a card that will be put straight into my card reader. And when I do that, it should, if everything goes right, there we go. I shot the moon the other day in the morning when I got up, nothing better to do. I saw the moon out there, so I just thought I'd shoot it. So what I can do is choose my folders. So I'll click on choose, go to 2023, because that's 2023, go down to moon. And what I do is I just start typing. I'm going to go back, choose, and then I'm going to go to 2023, and it brings up all of my folders. And I can scroll up or down, or I can click on one, type MOO, which is moon, and double click on the folder, and it opens the folder for me. And I'm going to save my copies to moon. On the other hard drive, I have 2 hard drives set up so that it's backing up every single time. Click open. I've got my template to use, which is Collins, and it has all my information, metadata, and stuff like that. Click OK, and it automatically does that for me. 3, 2, 1, we're done. Thank you. And let's go back into our preferences. So instead of doing things the hard way, I just plug my card into the reader and it automatically brings Adobe Photo Downloader, and I just click a couple buttons, I'm good to go. I've seen a lot of people that spend 15, 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get it from their camera, plug their camera in. It's like, no, just take the card and put it through a reader. It's so easy. Okay. Um, the next one down is double click edits, camera raw settings in Bridge. I actually have it open up in Photoshop, so it automatically goes there right away. You can do that. And so when you open up the file, if you double click on it, it'll bring up the raw camera raw in Bridge versus Photoshop, whatever your preference is. It doesn't matter. Command click or control click opens the loop when previewing or reviewing. I just hit the space bar, and then when I do that, it's so much easier the way I do it. I mean, I'm easy. I like things simple and easy to do. My favorite items up here on the left, you can see I've got folders on the left over there. Favorite items, computer and desktop. So let me cancel out of there. Go up to, I have computer and I have desktop. So I've got my two, let's see, hard drives that I back up everything up to, and then I got my desktop. So if you want, you can do documents, pictures, whatever folders you want to add. It's like, there's only two I need. I mean, keep it simple. Number of recent items to display is 10. I think that's default. I haven't even changed it, so I'm not worried about it. Next one down is advanced. This is the one that really saves me
Oh,
time. In advanced, you got start bridge at login. Anytime I boot up my computer, bridge will start automatically, as does Photoshop. So click that box, and when you turn on your computer, it's automatic. Language, pick your language, whatever makes you happy. If you want to get into Norse Bachmal, you're more than welcome to do that. But for me, I'll stick to English. I have trouble enough with English and an English keyboard. I mean, those are all simple. Software rendering, I've got no idea what that does. It disables the hardware acceleration for preview panel and slideshow. Um, I I've never changed it because that's default, so I can't tell you what it does. Cache, cache size you want default is 50. You can bring it up as much as you want. However, the more cache you use, the slower your computer's going to run. And then it also tells you where your cache is located on your computer. So simple as that. Um, Anything older than 30 days down at the bottom of the cache right here is purged automatically. So anytime I open up a folder that hasn't been open for 30 days, it's going to take a second to repopulate everything, bring it into focus. In fact, I'm going to change that to 15 days because if I haven't used it in 15 days and over 2 weeks, I don't need it in my cache to slow my computer down. So something just that easy. And then we got managing your cache or manage cache management. And you got a couple of different things there. Um, you can compact your cache right now, give it a second, and then take everything out and make your computer run just a little bit faster. So if you're starting to see it slowing down a little bit, especially on PCs, I noticed that PCs were probably the slowest. Um, that's why I went over to a Mac, but that's another story for another day. So compact your cache now, purge 100% of previews in cache. If it's running slow, click on it and purge all local cache files, no big deal. And if you want to change where you're storing your cache at, you can click on choose over here and then tell it where you want it to go. I'm just going to keep it the way it is because I'm very happy with that.
Can you tell me what cache is all about?
Um, I'm not really the geek to explain cache. Basically, it's using your memory so that hang on, let me.
Cache stores your memory on a local drive. So when you're working through different pictures, it'll pull pictures up. That's why sometimes when a photo comes up, it's sort of blurry and then it comes in.
I'll show you one
But
thing. The easiest way to explain it is to show this folder. So if I click on Safari, I say click on Safari. You can see as they're coming up how they have to focus. Once it's focused, anytime I go back to it, it's going to be focused again. That's cache memory saying, here it is, it's now in focus. And if,
Okay.
like this file, this folder has a whole bunch of subfolders in there. And it'd take about 30 seconds to a minute for my cache to reload everything in there and show all the folders and everything.
Okay.
It temporarily holds on to things the computer's recently seen, kind of like when you think of a copy and paste. You've copied, it goes into a cache. And if you have a lot of things in your cache that it's trying to access quickly, then it might slow other things down.
Okay.
can you hear me, Mike?
No. Did you want me to hear you?
No, I was saying something earlier, but apparently my microphone settings are all shot out.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I have a question really quick on the general tab. I have something completely different than you. I don't show the I have two options in there. The first one is double click edits, not when camera is connected. I don't even have that in mine, and I have 2023.
Really?
Yeah,
PC or Mac?
I have it on a PC. I haven't looked at my Mac version yet to see what it does.
Try your Mac version. It may be a Mac only thing. Um,
Yeah, because I have PC and mine's the same way.
okay.
Okay, so
So
it
it's
must be
probably
a
a
Mac.
Mac only thing. So when I connect my card, drop my card in my card reader, it automatically brings up Photo Downloader, and it just saves me so much time. So I think that's probably a Mac thing. Cache management, we did all that stuff. Content, I just clicked on home. I don't know what that's going to do, so I just left it on home as it came in. I don't export, so the maximum number of export jobs to keep in the job list is 100. I don't export, so that's the default that came with my Photoshop and my bridge. And maximum number of exports in progress is 20. I really don't give a flying mahoofner about that because I don't export. File type associations. If you get beta, this is going to make you crazy. Every once in a while, this afternoon I was playing with a couple of files which are NEF, which is the Nikon RAW, and it was set to Photoshop beta. And it's like, are you kidding me? Anytime when you install beta, it automatically says everything's going to be beta.
Correct.
I'm still using Photoshop. I could use beta all the time. I mean, it's the same thing. It just has all the new toys in it. So set it to where you want it for each file. JPEGs I have going to Photoshop, I hope. Let's just change it again. It's in Photoshop. JPEG 2000 goes to beta. I don't care because I don't do JPEG 2000s. I don't even know what they do. Has anybody ever used a JPEG 2000 before?
Only by accident.
Okay.
I read somewhere that they were trying, it was brought in to be a new format, but it never caught on. Then I've never used it. I don't know.
And I wish there was a way that we could take out the ones we don't want.
The only problem with that is you may find once in a while a client is going to send you something that is a JPEG 2000. And if they have put any information in there, there are things in there that will not be read, and you'll get a conflict error that the image will need to be converted to the new standard or just JPEG. And that's always fearful. People will panic. Oh God, what am I getting rid of? What could happen? So that's one of the reasons that I was told that Adobe suggested that you leave that in, because if you ever got one of those, it would just go smoothly. You could resave it. But anytime somebody isn't really sure what's going on and they get a screen that pops up with questions, you panic. So you keep it that way. But yes, it was originally a standard that did not work.
And that's also like the all the fonts. I've got
Correct.
like 2,000 fonts up there that I don't
And you
use.
cannot get rid of system fonts.
Yeah.
Mac will not let you do that.
Oy. Too much fun.
No.
Anyway, file type association. So what I had to do when I installed beta was go in here and change beta. And it's easy to do. You just click on the down arrow, click from beta to Photoshop. Once you do that, you can still open your raw file in beta. Just right click and open with and pick the one that you want. And it tells you what your default is. This one is, my default is Photoshop, and I can open it in beta. And so the next time you open it, it will still open as your default unless you tell it to open otherwise. So there. And back to the show. And if I click down here on the bottom right of the corner, it says reset to default associations. It will change everything back to beta. So if you're using beta, if you're not using beta, it'll keep it in Photoshop. No big deal.
When the new beta comes out, by the way, when beta becomes the norm, all of those will now shift to what appears to be your default of Photoshop. You won't have to go in and change all of those betas to the golden copy.
So the original, I don't know for sure, but I think when they do their update normally in October, that all the beta stuff they're doing now is going to be in Photoshop. But I have not heard anything. I'm not one of those gurus that's in the know. I'm just guessing. So just to let you know.
It says on the bottom, hide unidentified file associations. Would that get rid of like the JSP that's a none, that's unidentified? Undefined, rather?
Probably. Well, I got rid of a bunch.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Let me try this. Is there a none? There's not a none. Darn. Okay. Well, got rid of quite a few. Thank you, Sandra. I never even saw that. Cool. Interface. This is the cool one. You can go from dark or darkest to dark to light. Hello, wake up, everybody. I keep mine in the middle setting. Image backdrop.
Oh, interesting.
So if I change this to white and then take my backdrop to black or dark, almost black.
Okay.
So you can try and get everything to kind of match up a little bit. And then when you get down to scaling, you can go to small, and this will take effect when you launch the applications next time. Or you can go to big, which I'm going to click OK. I'm going to hit Command Q to quit.
That's the old folks version.
Hey now. What are you trying to say, Mike?
I'm in the middle. I'm not there yet.
Hey, you're the one that had to have the operation on the eyes, couldn't see.
Yeah, but that's not my problem. That's genetics.
And you can see all the print just got a whole lot larger here.
Oh.
So we're back in the same folder. Cancel.
We don't call that whole lot larger. We call that just visible now.
Talk about old folks. So I'm going to go back to where it was before. Take it back down.
There's nothing more comforting to see some young employee at a store who can't read a tag on something and go, ha ha.
Yeah.
They print everything so bloody small.
Yes, they do. That's when you take out your cell phone and take a picture of it so you can read it. Okay, this is back to where it was before I closed it and reopened it. Got to wait for everything to kick in again. And there we go.
Where are we at?
And where am I? Command K. That's where I'm going. So we're back. That was under scaling under interface. So you can change different things and then your light, dark, etc., whatever makes you happy. Next one up is keywords. Yes, Bridge does keywords. So you can keyword anything you want to do. I just have read hierarchical keywords, which was default. Basically, if you use the underscore, it puts it up ahead of things. So right here, I have printed books on the right-hand side. I'm pointing with my finger to the printed books on the right-hand side. You can see me pointing, I'm sure. It has two underscores, which puts it at the very top. And then I have book photos, which has one underscore, which puts it down below that. So no big deal. Labels and ratings. If you want to go through and rate your images, Command or Control 1 will get you a 1-star, whereas Command or Control 5 will get you 5 stars. And why does that mean anything? Well, what I want to do is I'm going to sort by rating, and it should okay, let's go up here then. Let's go to view, sort, thank you, by rating. And I don't know why it's not showing up, but let's try it the other way. Go up to home. And you can see that the 5 stars are showing up, and there's only one 5-star showing, which there should be a whole bunch more, but wow, that's weird. Sort by rating. There we go.
Okay.
Got a couple of, there should be a whole bunch of 5 stars in there. My favorites, so. Those are all 5 stars. So you can find, as you're going through, you call them and you say, okay, I want to do the best of the best, which are 5s, and the mediums, okay, we'll do 3s. Command 0 is no stars, or no rating. So they just go down to the bottom and disappear. You can also set your color options for labels. So let's say this alligator here. We can make him orange. So I hit Command 6, which gives it orange along there. So you can also sort so they jump out at you and make it really cool to find, easy to find. And you can change anything you want to do, change it, just edit it and save it. So just that easy. Next up is media cache. Here it says, do not delete files automatically. Well, I'm not deleting any files. And then automatically delete cache files older than 90. Oldest cache files when they exceed 93 gigabytes. So I think that's all default, so I don't mess with it. Metadata, you can tell it what metadata you want it to keep or what you want it to show, which is going through bit depth. I don't care what the bit depth is. I'll find out when I open it. And then options, view PDF after export, no big deal. This is all default up here for options, playback. This is for audio or videos that you have in the folder. When you click on it, it will play it back either automatically or when you open it, it doesn't matter. Startup scripts, they're all checked, default. I don't mess with it. Thumbnails, this is the cool thing. We can do some stuff. Do not process files larger than 1,000 megabytes. And for those that don't know, that's a gigabyte. So anytime you have a file that's bigger than a gigabyte, it's not going to give you a preview. It's just going to show you the Photoshop logo. Thank you. I can't talk today. It's been a long day. It's just going to show you the logo up there. You can tell it to open up bigger if you want, but it's going to take more memory. So you got to be careful about that. Down here, you can tell it, okay, I want to show date created. There it is down at the bottom, date and time created. You can show how big is it in pixels. Or changing from dimensions, you can go dimensions in inches. And it's going to show you the size in inches, right? You're going to show me that or not. Wow, it's not going to show me that. And I have it clicked. Okay, make a liar out of me. You can show keywords if there's any keywords attached. I don't have any keywords attached to that. You can show the size. This is 40 megabytes. The raw file is 40.20 megabytes. And the raw file up here is 40.85. Why is the difference there? Well, different colors use up different amount of memory in gigabytes. So just for information. And then you can do show metadata on hover. So if I hover over the picture, click OK, hover over the picture, the metadata shows up. So if you turn that on, and you don't have to have it showing all the time, but you can go over here and just hover over it. Okay, June 27th, that was done, 58.8 megabytes, dimensions, and blah, blah, blah. So just for information. And if you have video showing, you can preview video on mouse hover. So if you hover over it, the video will start playing and you can watch the video. And last but not least, you have workflow. I don't even touch this. It's default, and I leave it like it is. Let's go back to thumbnails, turn off all that stuff. Don't need it. Any questions on that stuff so far?
Nope. I have one. Well, it doesn't pertain to any of that stuff. I'm just
okay.
I went ahead and marked like 5 stars in the ones I wanted for this particular project or venue I did. I'm having trouble taking those photographs, the 144 of them, and moving them over to Photoshop.
All at one time?
Well, not at one time, just at any time. Just 1 or 2 or 5, or I don't know how to transfer them over or export them over. I'm doing something wrong, obviously.
Okay, when you transfer them over, how do you transfer them over?
I don't know how. That's my point. I don't.
Okay, in Bridge, like this image here, I want to bring it into Photoshop. A couple of different ways. One, I can right click on it, open with Photoshop, or command or control click on it, or control click, I should say. Or for me, all I have to do is double click on this image, and it should open.
That's what I get right there.
Okay. And okay, you see down at the bottom it's saying opening in beta. Why is it opening in beta? So I'll go back into file type associations, go to NEF, and I didn't change it when we were in there. Nikon NEF, and it says it's Photoshop.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, it don't want to play.
How do I reduce this?
And it's saying Photoshop beta is default. Why?
Correct.
Why?
Mike, is that a difference of in the Apple OS, you've got your NEFs associated with beta, but Adobe is using a different association.
I am using the Adobe association, and we go down to NEF, NESTLES.
I think when you double click, it opens your default photo viewer on that.
Right, and my default under NEF. Your
default is beta, but I think
my default.
That's a difficult one because if you show your default there, your default's a beta. You can change that if you go when you go to open a file, you go into your default things. You can change it back to the Photoshop, the regular one instead of the beta.
Yeah, but do you have to do that every time when you have a problem with it?
No, you see my NEF, which is my raw file, shows beta as my Photoshop 2023 is my default.
But Mike, go out of here, go out to your desktop and go to an NEF file and then do a get info on it if you want to take a second.
We can do that. There we go, right there. Command new. And we'll go to, I'll just go to the same folder, 2021. Safari down at the bottom. Open, 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 open.
Okay, Mervin's has been gone a long time.
And you can see
we're having flashbacks.
Wow.
Your time machine is running. It looks like that's probably why it's slow.
Yeah, let's try this one.
Just do a get info.
Right now so we can see it.
Yep. You moved it. Yeah, see, there's where it's set for beta. So if you click that down and go back to the original Photoshop,
change all.
Now change all. So what's happening is I think your system setting is catching it when you're trying to open it and forcing it into beta.
Could you run through that again? You right clicked on an image.
Okay, hang on. Okay, I brought it up in Finder. And then what I did was right click, go to get info. It brings up this little panel up here. And then down here it says open with. And I can either do beta or I'm going to leave it at default like it should be. And I had a problem with Bridge a while back, which you may want to know about. I tried to do some work with it. Let me close this out really quick. When I did a right click, I went to place in, and Photoshop was missing. And if I did up here to tools, Photoshop was missing. And what I had to do was do a cold reboot on the program, which I think is Command Shift. When you open it, you hold Command Shift and it resets everything back to default.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. I don't know what happened. Thanks.
Michael?
Yes.
The same problem with the beta hijacking thing occurs in Windows. The same thing. It goes to the application preferences. And sometimes it does it, sometimes it does. It just, who knows when it's going to make the, which upgrade is going to cause the thing to quit.
I understand 100%. It glitches on you every once in a while. You just got to be patient and try and figure out. And I get probably 2 to 3 calls a week from people saying, hey, my computer just glitched. I can't do such and such. So we just walk through it. Sometimes just rebooting the program will do it, or rebooting your computer will do it and make it all gooder. So what I want to do is I'm going to take all these, go to end, hold my shift key, select all of those. Hey, home. Shift end should take me to end, but it doesn't. So what we'll do is I'm going to select a few. I've got a whole bunch selected right now. I'm going to go up to Window, Keywords, and you can see that it gives you a bunch of default keywords like birthday, graduation, wedding. I don't want those. I don't care. I'm going to change and add a place. So I clicked on the word places. There's 6. Down the bottom right-hand corner of the box is a plus sign. And then there's sub keyword and new keyword. So I'm going to do sub keyword and type in Safari. If I can type right, I got it. Okay. And then I'm going to click on Safari. And I'm going to get the spinning wheel of death. There we go. It selected Safari. So all of these words now have, or all these files, thank you, have Safari as a keyword. And I can do more. I can do locations, change it from Safari to Africa. So let's go ahead and figure out why I'm spinning. And I'm thinking that it may have something to do with Zoom again, because Zoom and Adobe don't work together. I want to rename it. So what I did was right click, rename. I'm going to type in Africa. And if everything goes right, when I click on the checkbox, I get the spinning wheel of death again saying, please hold on. And now they're all keyworded for the location of Africa. And you can go in and put in all kinds of different keywords in there and make them so they're easier to find, just like Lightroom. And you can also do collections. So I'm going to do a new collection, call it Africa. And I don't remember how to put them into, oh, it just took almost 4,000 of these and put them into Africa, I believe. So it does the same thing that Lightroom does with collections and libraries. You can do libraries, and it does the same thing where it takes all the information from the image, puts it in there, but it keeps it in one spot. So when you move it, make sure you do it just like Lightroom, do it within Bridge so you don't screw it up. Any other questions out there?
How do I reduce my utility bill?
Turn your lights off, turn your computer off, bribe people. Oh, wait, this is recording. Never mind. You do not bribe people.
So it seems like Bridge can do some things that Lightroom does that Bridge didn't used to do.
They both do the same thing. You just got to learn how to do it.
So what are the advantages that you found of Bridge over Lightroom?
If I move a file not using Bridge, I can find it. Oh. If I move a file not using Lightroom, Lightroom throws a hissy fit and says, I'm not gonna play. You can't see your file. So you just have to remember to do it in Lightroom if you use Lightroom.
Yeah.
Or Lightroom gives you an exclamation point and asks you to look for it and then says, okay, do you want me to just find this file or everything adjacent that's missing?
Yeah. Kimberly is the Lightroom expert in the crowd. She knows everything about it more than I do for sure because I don't use Lightroom.
Because it was first.
When I first tried Lightroom way back when it first came out, I was like, oh, we ain't getting along. I'm sticking to Bridge because Bridge is simple.
Lightroom and Pen Tool are no-nos to Mikey.
Yes.
I should learn the Pen Tool just so, you know, together we can make one whole person.
One of these days I'll have somebody come in and teach us about the Pen Tool.
Pen Tool.
Who said that?
I did. Pen Tool is easy.
For you?
No. You're making it harder than it probably is. Yeah.
And I don't need the Pen Tool to get a good selection anymore. With all the new AI selections and stuff, it does
you do in certain instances where the background and the foreground are not easily defined. Yeah.
But I can use
that will hit you at one time or another, and you can't just say to a client, never mind, I'm sorry, but this image won't work. I can't pen tool it.
No, I just use Quick Mask. Do it myself.
Okay.
I have ways around it. Okay. Any other questions out there? I'm going to turn the recording off so you can ask your questions. Stop recording.